Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1994 1-cent coin, or the 1994 penny, as we all know it. This little coin has a lot more to tell us than you might think, so whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who likes finding cool coins in your pocket change, stay tuned because we've got a lot to unpack. We're going to explore its history, how much it's worth, and whether or not there's a hidden treasure waiting for you in your change jar. Let's start by taking a look at the design and background of this little coin. The 1994 penny, like the ones before it, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been in use since 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, we have the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been the standard reverse design since 1959. But here's something interesting. By 1994, the penny had undergone some important changes in its composition. You see, the penny had originally been made mostly of copper, but starting in 1982, it switched to a blend of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This was a cost-saving measure by the U.S. Mint due to the rising cost of copper. So, although the 1994 penny looks the same on the outside, it's made of a much cheaper material compared to the copper-based pennies minted before 1982. Now, let's take a step back and put the 1994 penny in historical context. By this time, the U.S. economy was seeing steady growth. The United States was in the midst of the 1990s economic boom, which led to more people carrying and using coins than ever before. In fact, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies every year to keep up with demand. In 1994, the U.S. Mint produced a whopping 7.55 billion pennies across its two main facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. The 1994 penny comes in two main varieties: the standard Philadelphia minted penny, which has no mint mark, and the Denver minted penny, marked with a D. But despite this large mintage, you may still be wondering, how much is the 1994 penny worth today? Let's talk about the value of the 1994 penny. The truth is, unless you have a specific variety or an exceptionally well-preserved example, the 1994 penny is usually worth exactly what it says on the face: 1 cent. But don't click away just yet. There's more to the story. We're going to break down what could make a 1994 penny more valuable than its face value. First, let's talk about condition. Most of the 1994 pennies you'll encounter today are going to show signs of wear and tear, especially if they've been circulating for a long time. If you come across a 1994 penny in excellent condition, you could see its value increase slightly. Coins that are in uncirculated, gem-like condition, think mint state 65 or above, could be worth anywhere from $1 to $3, depending on the market and demand. That's a nice little bonus for a penny that's been kept in pristine condition. Now, if you happen to find a 1994 penny with no signs of wear, something straight from a fresh roll of coins or a mint set, it could be worth a bit more to collectors. These uncirculated coins can fetch anywhere between $2 to $5 or more, depending on the grade. And grading is key when it comes to coin collecting, as it determines the coin's condition and ultimately its value. Let's move on to something that really excites collectors: error coins. This is where the 1994 penny could stand out in a big way. Error coins are incredibly valuable, and some of the rarest ones can sell for thousands of dollars. For the 1994 penny, one of the most sought-after error types is the double die variety. This happens when the coin die strikes the planchet more than once, causing a doubling effect on the coin's design. For example, you might notice the lettering or features of Lincoln's portrait showing up in double, giving the coin a distinctive, unusual look. If you ever come across a 1994 penny with noticeable doubling, particularly in the word liberty, or in God we trust, you could have a potential error coin on your hands. Some of these error pennies have been known to fetch prices anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Now, while 1994 pennies are relatively common, the demand for era coins and high-quality specimens means that certain 1994 pennies can bring in big bucks, especially at auction. For example, a 1994 double-die penny could sell for as much as $500 or more, depending on its condition and how rare the error is. That's a far cry from the original 1 cent face value. So, let's sum it all up. Most 1994 pennies in average condition are worth only their face value, 1 cent. However, if you happen to find one that's in exceptional condition, it could be worth a few dollars. If you're lucky enough to find an era coin, particularly a double die, you could have a valuable piece that could be worth much more, sometimes hundreds of dollars. So, before you toss that 1994 penny into your spare change jar, make sure to check it carefully. You might just have a rare find. Coin collecting is all about paying attention to the small details. You never know when you might find something special. If you're interested in learning more about coin grading, era coins, and how to spot a valuable penny, be sure to check out our other videos where we dive deeper into the world of numismatics. Now, you might think that a 1 cent coin is just a tiny piece of copper and zinc with little value. But in the world of coin collecting, even these humble coins can be worth more than you might expect. In today's video, we'll be uncovering the history, the current value, and some fascinating facts about the 1990 penny that could make you rethink the worth of your pocket change. Let's start by taking a closer look at this coin. The 1990 1 cent coin, as the name suggests, was minted in 1990 at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the D mint mark. But what makes this penny truly special? Well, let's go on a little journey through its history to find out. The 1 cent coin has a long and storied history in the United States. It was first introduced by the U.S. Mint in 1793, and since then, it has undergone several design changes. But the 1990 penny you see today is part of a design that has been in circulation since 1909. In 1909, the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent to honor President Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th President of the United States. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the obverse, we see the famous portrait of President Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design, along with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, would become one of the most beloved and recognized coin designs in American history. Now, let's talk about where this specific coin comes from, the Denver Mint. The Mint was established in 1906, and it has been producing coins, including the 1 cent piece, ever since. The D mint mark, found on this 1990 coin, signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the largest and most prominent mints in the United States. Each coin is produced through a process of stamping, where the coin dies press designs into a blank metal planchet. In 1990, the penny was made primarily of copper-plated zinc, a composition that would continue until 2009, when the Mint introduced a new formula due to rising copper costs. So, the 1990 penny was part of a huge minting year, with billions of pennies being produced that year. But what makes the 1990 coin worth more than its face value today? Let's dive into that next. Now, most of us are familiar with the typical 1 cent coin. It's worth just 1 cent. But did you know that some of these coins can be worth significantly more, depending on their condition and rarity? In general, the 1990 penny isn't rare by any means. In fact, billions of them were minted that year, so you're likely to find one in your pocket change. In average condition, a 1990 penny is worth just its face value, 1 cent. But if you happen to find one in excellent condition, say, with a full strike, sharp details, and no visible wear, it could be worth more than just a penny. A coin that has been graded at a high level, such as MS-67 or higher, could fetch anywhere from $2 to $5 in the market. For example, double die coins, where the design is doubled on the obverse or reverse, are always sought after by collectors, and these era coins can increase the value of the 1990 penny by a large margin. But you might be asking, is there any big money in circulation for the 1990 penny? Well, let's talk about how rare errors and high-grade coins are found and how to tell if you've got one. Identifying rare and valuable 1990 pennies isn't too difficult once you know what to look for. First, check the coin's condition. Coins that have been preserved well, with minimal scratches or damage, will always hold more value. Coins that are graded as uncirculated are often the most valuable. Look for signs of wear, like flattening of details or discoloration. If the coin looks shiny and detailed, it's more likely to be worth more than face value. Next, look for any error features. A double die coin, as we mentioned, can significantly increase the value. If you see a doubling effect on the letters or numbers, especially around Liberty or the date, you might have a rare coin on your hands. Keep in mind that coins in mint state, meaning those with little to no wear, will have the highest demand from collectors. If you're serious about finding out the value of your coins, you can get them professionally graded by a company like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Although the 1990 penny isn't a coin that will make you an instant millionaire, it serves as a reminder of how a simple coin can hold historical significance and value in the world of numismatics. Coins like the 1990 penny are a testament to the legacy of American currency. Each coin, no matter how small, carries with it a piece of history, from the design choices to the minting process, and even the journey it's taken through time. So, there you have it, the 1990 penny, a coin that may seem unremarkable at first glance, but holds much more than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about coins, this little piece of American history could be worth far more than its face value. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for more deep dives into the world of coins. Who knows, your next pocket change could be worth a lot more than you think. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a curious passerby, this coin holds a lot more than meets the eye. We're going to talk about its history, its value, and what makes the 1998 1-cent coin a significant piece of American coinage. So, if you've got a 1998 penny lying around, this could be the video that makes you take a second look at that humble little coin. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 1-cent coin, often referred to as the penny, features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has graced the penny since 1909. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar Union shield, which was introduced in 2010. However, in 1998, the reverse design still featured the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in circulation since 1959. But how much is this coin worth? Is it just a penny, or could it be something more? First, let's talk about its regular value. The 1998 1-cent coin is, in most cases, worth exactly 1 cent, no surprises there. But as with any coin, factors like condition, rarity, and demand can change how much a coin is worth. So, when we're talking about coins like the 1998 penny, we're not always just talking about face value. To understand the full context of the 1998 penny, we need to take a step back in time. The 1-cent coin has a rich history that dates back to 1793 when the first U.S. cent was minted. Over the years, the design and composition of the penny have undergone several changes, reflecting the economic and political landscape of the time. But by 1998, the penny had already undergone multiple transformations, from its original copper composition to a mostly zinc-based mixture that began in 1982. In 1998, the penny was composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which had been the standard for over a decade. This composition change was made to reduce the cost of production. While copper was becoming more expensive, zinc was more affordable, and this adjustment allowed the U.S. Mint to keep producing pennies without drastically increasing the cost to taxpayers. Now, let's talk about mintage numbers. In 1998, the U.S. Mint produced a total of 5.44 billion pennies across all three mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. So, the 1998 penny is certainly not a rare coin by any means. In fact, if you find one in your pocket change, it's pretty much like any other penny you'd encounter from the 1990s. But here's the thing. While most 1998 pennies are worth just a penny, some might have higher value depending on certain factors like condition, errors, and whether they were minted in specific locations. Let's explore those factors. First up, condition. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale called the Sheldon scale, from 1 to 70. Most circulated 1998 pennies will fall somewhere between 10 and 20 on the scale, meaning they have noticeable wear. But if you happen to find a 1998 penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new, you could potentially see it valued at a premium, perhaps worth a few dollars to collectors who seek perfect specimens. Next, let's talk about errors. Every now and then, a coin is produced with a mistake, and these errors can turn an otherwise common coin into a prized possession. For the 1998 penny, there are a couple of error types that could make your penny more valuable. One of the most sought-after error types for the 1998 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin die strikes the planchet twice, creating a doubling effect on certain details of the coin. If you find a 1998 penny with noticeable doubling, especially on Abraham Lincoln's face or the lettering around the coin, you might have a much more valuable piece. Some of these error pennies can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50, or even more, depending on their rarity and condition. So, while a standard 1998 penny is unlikely to be worth more than its face value, a penny with a rare error or one in mint condition can fetch a significant price. But what about the value of these pennies in the broader context of inflation and circulation? As the value of money changes with inflation, the actual purchasing power of a penny has diminished significantly since 1998. In fact, in 1998, the value of one penny could still buy you a piece of gum or a few pennies worth of candy. But today, a penny's purchasing power is next to nothing. That's one of the reasons the U.S. Mint has considered the future of the penny so many times. Should it be discontinued? Should the value of the penny be increased? It's a debate that's been ongoing for decades. Despite the debates, the penny continues to circulate. As of today, nearly 300 billion pennies are still in circulation, even though their actual value has been diminished by inflation. So, while the 1998 1-cent coin may not be a huge financial windfall for you, it's still an essential part of American currency and coinage history. But before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at a few standout facts about the 1998 penny and its place in numismatic history. A 1998 penny in perfect, gem-like uncirculated condition, like one with a high-grade score of 65 or above, could be worth a few dollars. And if you happen to have a penny with a rare minting error, such as a misaligned die, a double die, or a clipped planchet, you could be holding a much more valuable coin. Some collectors have paid hundreds of dollars for these rarities. So, while your 1998 penny might not be worth a fortune, it's still a cool coin with a rich history and some potential for value if you're lucky enough to find one of those rare varieties. If you're out there coin hunting, keep your eyes peeled for errors, and who knows, you might just find a hidden gem in your pocket change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to channel name, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. If you have a 1998 penny or any other interesting coins, drop a comment below and let us know about your finds. Until next time, happy collecting!